Hello everyone, my name is Chiruka Desai. Welcome to my presentation, Good Documentation Practice. To introduce myself, I have a pharmaceutical background, having 20 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. Recently, I have been involved in providing training, induction training to new employees and refreshing training to existing employees. End of this presentation, you will learn what to do and not to do when you involve with a good documentation. This technique will teach you to remember what to keep in mind when you are data entry, when you are writing something, or when you are recording or archiving your documentation. This documentation is useful for production staff and quality assurance staff working in a pharmaceutical industry. To know what is a pharmaceutical industry, it is very important to know what is a pharmaceutical industry. Do you have any idea? To learn that, I am showing you what are stages of pharmaceutical industry. So there are chemicals involved in processing drugs, which is API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, and excipients. Excipients means they are chemical material but not having any therapeutic impact. So once they collect API and excipients, they process it to different dosage form. Do you have any idea how many dosage form exist? Yes, it is a tablet, capsule, sterile injections. When they process dosage forms, they pack it, they label it, and they put secondary packaging and they distribute it. Each and every stage of pharmaceutical, it involves documents. So what is the purpose of documentation in a pharmaceutical industry? It is required by law, regulations, current good manufacturing practices by Australian market, TGA, US FDA, American market, or European market, or Japanese market. Documentation is helped to keep track of activities, create legal documents. It is a legal requirement. When there is a customer complaint or where there is a litigation, your good documentation help you. It saves you. Provide a historical record. When there is a deviation, you can go back to your document and check what was happened. Keep in mind, after product is distributed, what will stay with you? Your product? No. Product will go out for selling. What will stay with you? Your documents. So it is very healthy and helpful when you keep good documentation. So there is always, cost for a good documentation is always less than a poor documentation. According to ISO 9001 quality management system, there are certain documents which are mandatory, like records and documents, your batch records, your specifications, your logbooks, where you are entering your data real time when you performing process and you entering in the batch records. Word instructions, step-by-step instruction, how to run machines, how to clean machines, procedures, standard operating procedures, forms, where, when, how to perform, your manuals, your policies, and your contracts. That's why I have created slides, visual images taken from Google, and which is very handy for you. Once you visualize these things, you will remember always when you're creating, generating, or maintaining your documents. First always use permanent ink. Never use pencils or gel pen which can be easily erased. Why? Because your documents are precious. It needs to be kept for lifelong or for retention time period according to regulatory guidelines. It could be 5 years, 7 years, or 30 years. It should be very clear. Your data entry should be very clear. Your instructions, SOP should be very clear. Simple language. And clarity means, for example, this one. Can you see? What is it? 29, 24, 27? See, it is a matter of doubt now. So we lost our trust from what is written. That's why it is very important when you record your critical process parameters like temperature, humidity, viscosity. It should be legible. It should be clear. If it is not legible, unclear, person cannot read it, auditors can't read it, and then that's why it is not useful. So it is very important that you write clear, simple, legible manner. Hand correction. Now, we are doing so many things in a day, and there is a chance of making error when you hand entering data. So how to correct this? There are examples. One example and example 2. You just scribble it. Is look good? No, it is not a professional and it is not helpful. You can't use a white ink or any tab to hide your data. You need to put so that person can read that what was wrong. So how to correct wrong entry is just put a one strike on your entry like this way. Put your correct entry like 485. Put your initial, date and justification like why it was error. Error happened in writing or it was a wrong data, etc. Second, another requirement is page number in your documents. It is very important you page number your all documents, so total document number should be there. Reviewing and approving. Once you prepare your documents or enter data, it is important that it be reviewed and approved by other person, maybe senior management, to check its appropriateness, its correctness. Once sign and date. Never keep document without signing and date. If you perform something, always sign and date. And there is a site, staff, initial and full signature register. And every year you need to put your another near fresh signature. There is a record. Auditors always check against your signed signature register. And it is always to put date and time format consistently, which is mentioned in your SOP. Because different region having a different format. Like European region, they have a day, month and year format. American region is a month, day and year format. And Japanese logic is year, month and day. So it is very important each and everyone on a site follow consistently your date and time, 24 hours time or 12-hour clock format. Delegation. This is another important aspect. When you are not at job, your stakeholders, your customers may confuse whom to go, how to get work done. So it is very important you delegate when you are absent. You put that one on your paper and you authorize by senior manager. You give responsibility and accountability to some other person and you publish it to everyone so that in your absent, work won't stop. Traceability of records means joins every dots. By this time you know that there are plenty of documents. So it is very important to make connection between documents and traceable. It should be traceable. Keep in a safe record filing manner. So whenever you require in the future, you can trace it. Current. Very important that you use current document. So now question arises. How many times you generate documents? There are mainly 3 times. One, there is a new process, new equipment, new formula. Second, when there is a change management, change control, change in an existing process, product or formula. And third one is periodic review. Every 1 or 2 years, we have to review each and every document and check its validity. You make sure that you always use current document. How? Simple. You use stamps like copy stamp, original copy stamp, approved stamp, obsolete document or supersede document. These 2 terminology is very important. Obsolete means document is no longer in use, it is deleted. And superseded means it is updated to next version. So till time we see what to do. Now we come on don't. What not to do. Do not destroy GMP documents ever. It is a fraud. It is a crime if you hide data, if you falsify data, or if you try to hide it from auditors. So never destroy it. Keep file in a safe manner till retention time period. Every regulatory market has their own decided time period. Not to do. Second, do not write on a piece of paper or yellow notes or a paper that can easily lost. Why? Again, because your document is a very precious asset. You need to keep your document life cycle of product. So do not write on any piece of paper. Always write on allocated master batch records, documents or logbooks. If you don't have a batch records to write, wait, don't process it. Ask authorized person, your manager or QA to provide you exact documents. So till time we see all requirements of documentation. Is there any question? Please feel free to write me email on my mail ID. I will answer you as soon as possible. So here is the end of my slideshow, and take home message is, if it is not written down, it didn't happen. I hope you like my presentation and it is very useful to you. Thank you very much.